Hello and welcome to a brief overview of the SkyWay's opportunity. We've got to do a compliance. We are not licensed to sell shares as all countries have their own rules on sale of financial products. Most countries, however, allow the sale of information products. Therefore, in our terminology, we use education informational products, and when we refer to pipes, which we get gifted once we participate in the education products, they are pre-IPO equity shares. So if I refer to shares, that's what I mean is the pipes, pre-IPO equity shares. So moving on, what is SkyWays? We have created a fundamentally new transport system which is eco-friendly, safe and comfortable and significantly cheaper to all other existing solutions. SkyWays was developed by Anatoly Yanitsky. So let's have a look at some of the SkyWays technology. We have a demonstration and certification facility in Belarus. There are many different models. You can see the working models all over YouTube. First of all, we have a 500 kilometre an hour high-speed train. We will be breaking ground on construction of one of these in between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Initially, it'll be 25 kilometres of track. But once everything's got the green light, it will be extended to those two cities. And this is going to happen in the very, very near future. They're just doing the final engineering on it now. We also have what's called an urban skyway, which will replace a lot of buses and tram systems throughout different cities. It will start in Adelaide. It will start at the Adelaide airport. That will break ground just after the Dubai project has started. I'm actually from Adelaide, so I've seen the concept plans and that's all on the go. Again, just waiting for some final engineering and construction on this project will start as well. This urban skyway will be able to replace public transport systems of buses and trains or trams throughout different cities. Now, I believe Adelaide will be one of the forerunners of that, because once they do the airport one, they'll run it from the airport into the city. We have, as part of SkyWays Australia, Rod Hook, who's been instrumental in a lot of the infrastructure projects in South Australia, who has all the government connections and is pushing the Skyway to be implemented in Adelaide as its major public transport system. Very exciting stuff. We also have a whole range of different cargo systems, from general freight, light freight pods, pallet pods, container pods, and of course ore. Now this is very important for Australia because we have a lot of mines that need to get ore to an existing port and they're out in the middle of nowhere. Because these are electric, they don't have to build railway lines or haul roads that cost a lot of money in diesel to move the ore. These are electric, they can do it from a solar farm. Mines are itching at the bit to build this technology, and once the Adelaide project comes through, there will be at least 4 to 5 mines that immediately implement this system right here. So again, very exciting. And we also have what's called a unibike, which is basically a tourist attraction, so theme parks around cities, all that sort of stuff. We have certification to build the unibikes, the cargo systems and the urban skyways, and we'll be breaking ground on projects on that very soon. A bit of a competitor analysis. Basically, in essence, we've got the maglev, hyperloop and the monorail. Look at the cost of construction. Because our rail systems have got minimal material, they cost somewhere between 3 and 8 million to build compared to over 100 million per kilometre to build the maglev or the hyperloop. And we can build in any terrain, whereas the others need flat ground. Okay, so we've got it over the competitors in cost and where we can build it. It's economically friendly and safe for travel. Now, this basically started in 1978 when Anatoly Yanitsky came up with the concept. In 2014, they actually came up with a 15-step development plan where they did engineering, they built the Eco-Techno Park in 2015, 16, 17. They've reached certification on the Unibike, the Unibus and some of the cargo ones. And we are right now in stage 12 of 15, and we are on the cusp of technology adoption. In effect, we are early adopters still, and we get the discount on the shares, but we are right at the pointy end of the stick, guys. This is about to be commercialised in a big way. Back in 2014, 400 billion, 87 million shares were issued, and they did a valuation on the IP rights, patents and intellectual property, and the valuation came up at around $400 billion. So 4 years ago, the shares were valued at $1 each. That's before we had the demonstration facilities, the certification and projects about to break ground, not to mention that we've got 300 memorandums of understanding signed with 12 countries around the world for projects that they want once we get the technology up and running. Where are we? We are basically all over the world. Indonesia, India, Belarus, Ireland, Russia, Ukraine, and of course Australia. And this is the gentleman Rod Hook, who I have personally met, seen concept plans and discussed how many projects are in the wings, and there's 50 or more projects out there that will happen fairly quickly once we actually finish the Adelaide Airport project. So very, very exciting. So who are we? We are SkyWay Invest Group. We are separate from SkyWay, Eurasian Rail Skyways Limited. We actually sell educational investment packages as part of an incentivized crowdfunding platform. So when you take part in one of our educational packages, you get gifted shares in Eurasian Rail Skyways Limited. In other words, Skyways. Why crowdfunding? They actually tried doing it the traditional way with angel investors, JV partners and so forth, and they wanted too much of the company. So they did a trial with Andre Harato to crowdfund it, and it went so well that they implemented it. Now, SkyWay Invest Group is actually funding the construction of Eco Techno Park, which is the first slide I showed you. So we've got our wealth creation education where they'll teach you how to invest, where to invest, and obviously give you a head start with the SkyWays and shares, but they also teach you how to invest otherwise. And there will be other investment opportunities come through SkyWay Invest Group, not only SkyWay. So what's in it for you? This is the big question. First of all, we've got the education. There's different packages. But when you take part in one of the packages, you get gifted shares in SkyWays. Now, at the moment, in stage 12, you get anywhere between 30 and 80 shares per dollar spent on educational packages. So that's 30 to 80 times your money, because a share or a PIPE or pre-IPO equity share was valued at $1 4 years ago, before we had all the infrastructure and what we've got in place now. I fully expect that when we go to IPO, initial public offering on the London Stock Exchange, that the shares will come out at $3, $4, $5. I can't guarantee that, that's my opinion, but we have the opportunity now as early adopters to get in and get a lot of shares for a huge discount and really cash in the next year or so. So there is no limitation. You can start for as little as $10 and you can invest as much as you want. Obviously, the more you invest, the more shares per dollar that you get. There are a couple of sweet spots. I'm not going to go into it in this video, but there are a couple of sweet spots. So how can we earn income with SkyWays Invest Group? So in the future, we've got the initial public offering. So the shares or the pre-IPO equity shares that we accumulate now will actually launch on the London Stock Exchange. That's when this gets real. After a short grace period, you'll be able to sell those shares and get real money. But I won't be doing that. I'm accumulating as many shares as I can get right now because of the dividends. Once they reach 200,000 kilometres of track, they will be paying dividends to those who own the shares. And as it works out, for every 100,000 shares, they anticipate about a $25,000 a year income initially, but as the amount of track increases, so will that income. By the time we reach stage 15, I'll probably have around 800,000 shares. So that's a 200 grand a year income, but I'm working on getting more. So that's in the future. The IPO is anticipated to happen somewhere 1.5 to 2.5 years away. You can multiply your invested money many times over. So great opportunity there. But today we can actually build a network or a team and earn real-time income, which, I'm doing both. I'm reinvesting to get more shares and I'm pulling money out to live on. So there is a major amount of money that can be earned in the network, not to mention you can become a company rep, you can initiate projects and get percentages of the big contracts. Imagine getting 5% of a $60 million contract. That is also possible as well. Quick look at the marketing plan. Obviously, it's basically one big uni level. So if you refer anyone, you get 8% of whatever they spend. On the second level, 7%, and on the third level, 3%. But once you move up a rank to agent, you actually get 5% on your third level and 4% on your fourth. Move up to consultant and you get paid on your fifth level and below. As you move up the ranks, you get paid bigger amounts of money in depth. If you want a detailed explanation of that, there are other videos. This is just a quick overview. There are also fast track qualifications. These are brilliant. 4,000 gets you to the consultant level where you earn down to infinite depth. You actually get the Master Profit Training, which is a 3-day event on wealth creation, on how to generate it and keep it. And you obviously maximize your earning potential. The Express Manager gets you 1.3 million pipes, the Master Profit Training, and it allows you to actually initiate projects as well as maximizing your earnings out of your team. So how can you start? Obviously get back to the person who's referred you to this video to get more in-depth explanation on how all this works. It's as simple as registering, completing a verification process, learning a bit about the product and tapping into our active Facebook groups, and of course invite others if that's what you want to do. Now if you just wanted to be an investor, you'll make a bucket load of money. But if you wanted to be an investor and build a team, you will compound your efforts. So very much worth your while. Get back to the person who shared this video with you and ask for more information or their registration link. So goodbye for now. Andrew out. Bye-bye.